Welcome to the SoulScape Show, where you will discover the depth and breadth of your soul. This is Gabrielle Spencer, your host and multidimensional intuitive channel and healer. Tonight's show is about your soul's awakening process.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is Gabrielle Spencer, and this is the SoulScape Show. Tonight, I am your host and I am your speaker, healer, intuitive, multidimensional channel. And I am here tonight to talk with you about soul awakenings. This is such an important topic because there's so much information out there about what we're doing right now and what this time is heralding for us. And it's really a difficult time for everyone because our base needs are being threatened in many ways, and people are being affected in more ways than they have in the past, even, and more critically, and there isn't sometimes a whole lot you can do about it. It just depends, right? So what we notice in these times of stress and anxiety and worry and health concerns and all sorts of the regular everyday life concerns hitting you, why are we concerned then about raising our vibration and connecting with our soul? Why does it matter, and how is that going to help me? How is it going to help you? That's many times what we're feeling. You know, it's great. I'm going to get to spirituality in a little bit. As soon as I take care of A, B, and C, and then I will pay attention to attending an event like this, or taking a master class, or whatever it is, or working yourself, taking an hour to meditate, etc. Okay? So we understand that that's hard to realize the connection. But in actuality, it's the entire connection is our spiritual selves being a spiritual being of light here in our physical vehicles and using our abilities to help shift things. So we talk about ascension, we talk about the phases of ascension, we talk about our own soul connection, which is our heart, our higher mind, and our higher self and soul. So all of these things come into play. And for many of us, it can be really frustrating because it doesn't always seem to work. And sometimes it certainly doesn't seem to work the way we need it to, or the way that we imagined it would, or the way that we wanted. So there are many things that interfere with us and how we think things should be going, right? And we have regular, everyday decisions that we're needing to make. And the reason that this is important to us to connect with our spiritual self is because our higher self has the ability to see multidimensionally and to see potential opportunities that we need to move us along our path. If we are not moving along our path, generally, this is when we all talk about the spiritual 2x4. Well, it can come in many, many forms, right? But it basically makes us sit back and say, oh my God, what is happening and why is it happening? And what do I need to do to shift it? And even in this global pandemic, we're all being forced in many ways to sit back, look around and say, what's going on and what do I need to do and how do I shift this? So the answer is that we shift it with light and vibration. We cannot change anything in our own lives unless our vibration changes. I feel that for a long time, we've spent a lot of energy and effort focused on what the symptom of our problems are. So it could be anything, right? Our health, or our relationships, or money, or our jobs, or what we think or hope that one day our soul's path will become known and we'll know finally what it is that we want to do. And so that keeps a lot of us in a holding pattern, which is not helping us move forward nor is it helping us to shift the energetics of where we are and what we're doing, right? So for all of us, we need to know within our own selves that we're going to be okay. And so everybody needs to know that within you, that is where all of the power resides. So when we say the power is within you, it means that your connection from your high heart, which is at the thymus area, is connected all the way to your soul. And through this connection is how you are holding or being higher vibrational light. So the greater the strength of that connection, the more you're able to bring light into your life, into the situations, and to know when to sit back or to know when to move forward or what action to take. So for a lot of people, we hear often that life continually throws curveballs at us and then we get off track, right? I've always seen it like we're taking a highway and suddenly a detour comes on and we end up in a roundabout. I don't know about you all, but anytime I've had to deal with a roundabout, it's not my favorite thing on the road for real. So a roundabout in our life's journey is worse because we are unable to find an exit many times. So for each of us, it isn't necessarily about focusing on what the symptom of our problems are, but rather what energy has to be shifted in order to help us align with our soul's purpose, why we really came here, which isn't anything to do with a job. It is about us being the greatest beacon of light that we can be. And as we focus on raising our own vibration and our consciousness, which means going from a third dimensional consciousness to a higher consciousness, to the conscious mind that is not here, but rather at a higher dimensional existence. So I always call it higher, but it's dimensions, and that doesn't mean necessarily higher, but it's easier for us to understand. So for every one of you, whatever you are feeling and going through, especially at this time, when we focus on higher consciousness and you ask yourself, what is keeping me from reaching a level of consciousness that will shift my life? What do you get? So if you close your eyes and you ask yourself that question, what is keeping me from my highest consciousness? I'd love to hear, what do you get? All right, fear was the first word. I got frustration and patience. So Doreen, does patience mean that you're just waiting? What does patience mean? Fear and unworthiness, clutter, and more fear. Okay, so when we talk about fear, it's my favorite topic actually, because fear is the greatest limiter, and it definitely keeps us all from being able to connect to the highest aspect of ourselves. And it keeps us in a place where we're always going to be experiencing fear because our minds are trying to keep us out of fear, but it actually ends up recreating fear or anxiety and stress, etc. All of those things do definitely keep us from our higher consciousness self. So when you close your eyes, are you willing and able to let go of the fear? When we just say yes without thinking of all of the ways that might affect us, and maybe people will say to themselves, well, I would let go of it, but if you feel the but, then you have to be willing and able to release the but. Oh, good. Thank you, Melissa. You just wrote that in. She writes, yes, but. Exactly. It's the but. So we have fear, but is also a limiter. It resets you back to the path that you're wanting to get off of that detour, that roundabout that goes around and around, and you experience similar things over and over. So the idea here is not that the symptom, whatever it is, it can be health, it can be finances, it can be your relationships, it can be your job or your stability in your life. When these things are creating panic, or they are creating anxiety or stress, it's very difficult to let go of them, and you are not able to see any other alternatives, any other opportunities, anything. Nothing comes, or the things that do come are instant dead ends. Is this right? Okay. Yes. Lynette says it's a ceiling, self-imposed or not. That's right. So we end up being unable to move. We basically have boxed ourselves into a corner. And when we do that, obviously then things are not moving in the direction that we want. So what we are going to work on, and it's really wonderful because it's all based on what we're needing as a group in order to bridge that gap. Thank you, Melissa. She says, there's a huge gap between what I see and where I am. And that's for most people. There's a huge gap between what it is we want and what it is that we have. There's a huge gap between where we know we want to be spiritually versus where we are. And we have areas that have holes in them. I've said often that when I look energetically at a person, many times their energetic field looks like Swiss cheese because there are gaps, there are holes in where they are and where they need to be and how they're going to be able to move. You're not going to be able to raise your consciousness if your energetic field multidimensionally has holes in it. That's not wholeness. And that's what we mean by wholeness. All of your energetic self, all of your multidimensional bodies are together, maybe not merged, but that we have healed all of the energy so that there isn't areas where you can be dinged by life and lessons and people and betrayal and all the things that happen to us. Because in life, in a third dimension, life does happen all around us, and whether we want to be involved or not, it even in with the ripple effect, we are affected. And so how we shift that is based on whether it triggers us or not. What is our energetic response? Not what our head said, not what came out of our mouths, but what is within you being triggered. And it does come out in your mouth too. Obviously, things that we say will give you a great hint. But our energetic emotional response will tell you where the gaps are. Okay. All right. Now, it isn't about wanting something. I want to address that really quickly. Thank you. It's like this. When we put our desire on, I want to be connected to my highest soul's destiny, my highest soul's purpose. What happens is not that everything goes away and you can't have a comfortable life and a comfortable home. That isn't what we mean by want or desire. When our energetic is focused on being connected, and I want you to be clear, I'm not saying that it's service or indebtedness or servitude toward the mission and toward humanity where, in the old days, that meant you had to, be a monk or whatever and basically living based on the community, right? So for all of us, when our focus is being in the greatest service to our soul's destiny, then what happens around us to support that just gets taken care of. Now, of course, it means you have to do the actions that you get. So for every one of us, I get great giggles out of what I'm given. And literally, I get to pat myself on the back when I go, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful that I listened. But moreover, I'm so grateful that I received the information and that it just comes in without very much work anymore. And this is where we all need to be. We've talked about it in many shows, Buddha in the kitchen, Buddha at the gas station, Buddha in the mall, wherever you are, to be able to receive the information you need for the actions that you need to take. Okay. So, I want to talk quickly about ego a little bit, because here's the thing. We want to believe that we have a lot of control over what is happening to us and what we are experiencing in our lives. And we want to know that by our decrees alone, things are going to shift. But they don't, because it's your energy that is holding the contracts, the information, the codicils, the agreements, permission, all of the things that are in play. And part of those agreements and permission are the lessons that have to be reconciled. It's not that you have to learn them, it's that you have to reconcile them to release them. Yes, you're going to learn them on an energetic level. You don't have to relearn the old experience in another horrible way in order to learn the lesson. We can help you move through that just energetically and quickly on a multidimensional level. So it's not that we have to go through the difficulty. So when the ego says, I've made this decree that I'm going to do blank and blank, or I'm going to be in service, it's nice that that aspect of you wants that. But you have many other levels of self that are going on and may not be able to honor that, and that have to be healed and brought into wholeness before what it is you've decreed actually can happen. Does this make sense to everybody? Are you understanding why the multidimensionality is really important? This is all about your soul's awakening, meaning that as you reconcile each layer of yourself, that you are then raising not just your vibration, but your ability to tap into universal consciousness and into higher levels of a higher mind and universal energy and all of it. And when you're able to do that, you're not going to get caught up in all that's here, but rather you're able to use energy and your connection to move and shift situations that need to be moved and shifted in order for not just yourself, but for everybody else to benefit. So in this pandemic has had a very interesting journey. And for the last month or more, I've been a really big advocate that we use our spiritual abilities, see them at work by using light, requesting, and using our intention to surround and encapsulate anyone, anything that is intending for it to be less than a higher vibrational experience, for them to be encapsulated with light, and for the light to assist them in whatever's in their highest and best good. We have to remember that we are here as beings of light, and we can shift things in our own life and in this realm in which we exist, because that is why we are here. One of our reasons. For everyone, it is about finding that place of security and peace within yourself. So within yourself, what is keeping you from feeling stable? You can ask yourself the question again, a new question, because all of these questions help you to trigger yourself, either no trigger, a thought, a feeling, so that you know what it is that's keeping you from putting your emphasis and your attention on the higher consciousness aspects of you. I promise that if you spend your efforts on healing the connection between your high heart and your soul, that the rest of everything in your life will work out. You'll be listening, you'll be knowing what to do and when to do it. You will be open to opportunities, and opportunities will come your way, and it will happen many times not because you facilitated it, but because of the energies open for an opportunity to come to you. Okay? So somebody asked me how to reconcile. That can be complicated, but in general, when we have outstanding issues happening for us, it means generally that you, if you are feeling like right now that you're suffering because of it, so the opposite means that at some point you caused someone else to suffer for it. Okay, so we experience everything full circle. And so when we say reconcile, it means that you have to energetically provide the frequencies that are needed to make the situation whole. That's the easiest way for me to explain what happens on the energetic side when I assist and am the conduit to assist you to heal, is that there are many things that need to happen, but in general, that's what is happening, is the frequencies that are needed to reconcile the situation are provided. And when we're talking about a situation, I am not talking about situations that are happening necessarily in only your current existence and the ones you know about, but all throughout all of your existences, in whichever frequency those existences occurred. Remember, all of your lifetimes have not been third dimensional. And that's a really key factor. So for the people who say that they've been at it a very long time and they still have the same issues and they're frustrated, I totally understand. And the reason is because there are going to be soul level issues that until recently, we haven't been able to reach on a frequency level because we didn't have the ability to tap into, let's say, void energy or other energies, depending on the healer as to what it is that they're able to access to help you. Okay, so that's why now we're looking more at these higher levels of consciousness in which to free you, because there are issues and disconnections and separations that have happened at other dimensional frequencies. Okay, so I hope that explained it to everybody. So now I want to take some time to actually connect with you and assist you with healing, because that is my favorite thing. And I love to assist, and I feel really called at this time, especially to assist as many of us as we can, so we can move through this energetic shift with ease and grace, and honestly, as quickly as possible. Who doesn't want that, right? Let's just get through this so that we can be at the next highest level, and then we can use our abilities to help all of humanity to find their place of stability within themselves. So I think today that's going to be our biggest question, is what is it that you need to find that stability and wholeness within yourself? What is keeping you from that?
So let's do a healing and activation for everyone that is focusing on safety, that internal stability and safety.
I want everybody just to close your eyes. Roll your eyes up toward your eyebrows. All right, so we're calling in the golden beings of light to assist each of you. Take a deep breath in and out, allowing the golden light to surround you in love and peace, and the support and the knowing that you have the support of the universal energy. Allow Allow yourself to be held by the hand of God, universal energy, hugs. Allow your feet to be taken off the ground and just loved. Release the need or fear of being worth love and acceptance from God. Know that with your connection and being in alignment with your soul will allow you to make your highest and best decision. Circles are often caused because we are unable or unwilling to choose, or we feel that we have chosen poorly. Your choices are based on your vibration. What choices you have and the choices you choose, all based on your vibration. Allowing yourself to be vulnerable by opening your heart, by saying yes, and allowing the golden beings of light to provide you the frequencies needed to heal your heart on a multidimensional levels. Deep breath in and out now. All right. So now, raise your hand if you'd like me to assist you. That's what we're here for tonight, is to help you. All right, Kathy says, I feel as though I'm stuck in a loop of illness. Health issues have plagued me since 1993. There's also a lot of sickness in my family. Is this a curse or clan agreement? All right, Kathy. Okay, everybody take a deep breath again. Stay in your meditative state. So, Kathy, we're going to check in and see. All right, so I see for you a high priest. And in this moment, the high priest has come to you, or actually could look like a cardinal or a pope, and has touched you on your forehead. So we are going to allow so it's about rejection. So we're asking now for the energy and the frequencies needed to allow you to receive the highest intent of every blessing and to release your underlying energy of not trusting. Even when someone says something good to you, you're looking for the undercurrent that's more negative. Like what's really going on here? What's the undercurrent? Okay. So Kathy, I want you just to take a deep breath and allow these frequencies. For I receive. I am willing and able to receive the energies and the frequencies and the positive intent for my well-being. I am willing and able to receive. Allowing the golden light to assist you, to place you within the 9th dimensional rejuvenation chamber, allowing the golden elixir of life to heal you, to heal your heart, your soul, your spirit, and all that has been wounded and betrayed. And for each person who is listening to this, to receive the same with their yes. All right, Kathy, let me know how that feels for you. All right. All right, we're going to go to Jacqueline, who's going to speak. I don't know how to.
Did I unmute myself? Can you hear me?
You did. I can hear.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Gabrielle.
You're welcome.
So I've been feeling so weird. I got laid off back in March.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not scared at the time. I welcomed that. I was actually happy. I was like, hey, I'm going to go home and I'm going to focus on something else in my life because I wasn't happy with my job. So I saw it as an opportunity for me to do something else that I've been thinking to do for a long time. Work on my art, work on my spiritual, growth. And I was quite happy for a while, but then suddenly over the past, I would say a month or more, I lost all my motivation. I lost all my guidance. I feel like I don't know what I want to do anymore. I want to do something else in my life. I want to learn something different. I start taking courses and then I cancel them. I'm feeling like walking in circles. I feel like I'm misdirected. I feel lost. I don't know what happened. And for so long and for so many years, while I was working in my full-time job, I was always hoping and wishing for this time to come where I could take the advantage and do something exciting and actually change my life. And now that I have, I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know what to do.
I think that's a very common thing. I do business coaching for spiritual entrepreneurs. And what's always amazing, and I was the same way, was, when can I quit my job? When can I quit my job?
Yeah.
But the thing is that regardless, if you're doing something to bring in income, it's still going to carry the stresses, and then it doesn't become fun anymore.
Yeah.
And then you're always worried about, how am I going to bring in, whatever it is, my next client or sell my next art piece or whatever.
Right.
So for you, it can mean that it's time to just retool what it was you were doing, or to change or ask for the opportunity. So when you go within, because I will say that doing spiritual work is fantastic. It fills my heart, it fills my soul. But I'm grateful that I don't have to rely on it to make my living, because it would then be no fun. I love what I do, but it's because there isn't the additional stress that I'm adding to it. So what is it that you can do, and look within yourself and say, okay, I can do this. And maybe I need to ask how to retool all of my abilities so that you can handle the money part and keep the money part separate from what makes your heart sing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
yes.
What makes your heart sing? Is it the painting?
It's the art that makes me very happy, but at the same time I'm so driven to help others, and I sign up for courses such as Akashic reading. I have 2 courses done on that. I did recently, now I'm doing EFT, and I want to work with that too, but I don't feel confident enough, and I feel like, oh, maybe I'm not in the right direction. I don't know. Like I said, I'm I can't focus in one thing.
Okay.
But I would say my art right now is what makes my heart sing. Yes.
Okay. So do your art to make your heart sing. And before you go to begin doing your art, just ask for peace to fill you. it's like when I do this show, I say, I'll do this show as long as it's fun, as long as I feel like I'm providing something for people, and as long as I get to do what makes my heart sing, right? That's what makes it fun for me, is that I get to connect with people like yourself and assist in any way that I can. I love it. That's what makes me happy. It's like I get off this show and I'm like flying high. Well, it's in those moments that I get some of the best intuitive insight into my own life and into what it is that I want to do next. Does that make sense? So when you're trying to figure it out, it's
Yes,
not
it does.
by sitting there trying to write it out, you know, pros and cons and whatever, and try to find a job. For yourself, the job will come to you, but it will happen when you're not stressing about it. And so that's why I say, do what makes your heart sing. Because otherwise, as human beings, we tend to close off anything else because we're too stressed to allow it to flow to us. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
All right. So we're going to
I
do
get it. Thank you.
Yes, I mean, that's the obvious part. Now we're going to do the energetic part. Because this is the piece for everybody.
The fun
right?
part.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's the logic piece, but then there's the part where you go, okay, well, now energetically, what's keeping me from finding what it is or being open? And so for all of us, being open to things that aren't what our mind knows is what we're trying to do, is to shift everybody into that conscious place, that state of consciousness where you're not listening to your 3D mind, but rather your highest self and your higher mind connection, providing the, oh, go do this, right? I mean, I could give a gazillion examples how this happens, but for each one of us, it's necessary and important for you to learn how to get into that state so that you don't have the large gaps in between, I got good direction and then I have nothing. Does this make sense? Jacqueline?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It does.
Good.
Yes,
All
it
right.
does make sense.
This is our point. All
Okay.
right. So, sorry, you're good? So we're going to do then is we're just going to close our eyes, everybody, because it's about clarity, but it's also about finding what makes your heart sing. When you find what makes your heart sing, then we can call in the information from the universe to allow your heart, your higher mind, and your highest consciousness to direct you and to begin to direct the opportunities to come in. And I can tell you, Jacqueline, energetically, you are correct that the energy all around you is swirling. And so we're going to clear up the clutter and help to release your mind from needing to figure it out, because that actually slows the process, if that makes sense. So for everybody, we all tend to get in this same situation because we're humans and our minds tend to want to be in control and want to be able to figure it out. So I just saw it drop. Okay, so energetically, Jacqueline, I just saw all that stuff that was swirling, like as if you were juggling balls in the air. They all just went poof down. Did you feel it release?
Yes, I did. I did feel it.
Okay.
That's amazing. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah. That's the energy part. See? So now you're clear. And now we're just going to fill your heart with light, golden light of the highest vibration. Just breathe that in and say yes. And then see it like a heart light just beaming out around you, all around you, into your home, into your art. Allow your heart to sing, oh, I just see it now. This is good. Okay. So I see you. Do you paint? What's your art?
Paint. Yeah, I paint and I'm a jewelry designer as well.
Okay, good. So I was just seeing you at the easel. So when you're painting, I want you to use your heart light to infuse as you're painting, like a song, like you're painting us. Oh, I just got shivers. Okay. So you're going to paint harmonics into your picture for healing for people. Okay.
Wow.
And my suggestion, they just showed me the next piece is, like, let's say I said to you, Jacqueline, I really want you to paint me a picture. You're going to say, okay, Gabrielle, send me a picture of yourself. And it's not that you're painting it of that person, but it's almost like weaving the harmonics into their energetic field as you paint the painting for them. Wow. That's awesome.
Wow. Wow.
See, now do you feel excited?
I'm very excited.
I'm excited.
Wow.
Ta-da. All right. You got your papers, lady. Get busy. That sounds like so much fun and just really beautiful. So I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for helping me.
You're welcome. And I want to know how it goes. So let me know.
Oh, I will let you know. Yes.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you. You have a good night.
Thank you. And you.
All right, honey. All right. I think I just lost my thing. You're going to have to mute yourself. There we go. All right. I just lost the hands. Hold on a minute. Hello, my love. How are you, Ekaterina?
Unmute. Am I here?
You're here.
How are you doing? Well,
I'm good.
well, I need your help with some, for me, it's always physical. So I have a very stubborn physical issue, which is acting out at this moment. And this is an allergy to dust. And it's not just kind of all simple allergy. It's like I open my, I try to do basically pull out my sweaters, pull out my summer clothes and put sweaters back. And I'm totally overcome by running from my nose like nonstop for 3 days, even on antihistamines, on homeopathy. I'm totally overwhelmed. This is my extreme reaction to dust. And it has been going on for a long time. Interesting that I don't have other allergies, basically, almost none. And in my mind, it's kind of, what is dust? Is it like I'm allergic to earth? What is it? Basically, I stopped the whole process. I just pulled out.
So hold on. Okay, 1 second. So you're telling me you're allergic to something, but you can't figure out what it is?
No, I know exactly what it is. It's dust mites.
Uh-huh.
And what I'm saying that I'm not allergic to other things. I'm not allergic to anything else. You know, according to allergy tests. But when they put the dust kind of in my arm, I'm totally swollen. And I received for 3 years, I was getting shots, didn't do anything. And as an example, as I say, when I open my closet, because of this dust, I'm totally overcome by reactions. And this is happening now for 3 days.
Okay. Let's see where the energetic issue is. Okay. So okay, so we are going to go into an existence. I don't know how to describe it exactly. So I'm going to just call them nanites, which is what we know here. But it's not exactly that. But it's
Say it again, the name?
Nanites. Nanites, which are like a mechanical little engineered.
Like from nano, N-A-N-O?
Nanites. I think it's, and yeah, it's like nano, the little nano things. But it's not from this dimension. Okay, so I just want you to, okay, so the golden beings of light are working on it. And it's quite interesting. It looks like, you know, the wire mesh sieves or the wire mesh colanders. They have the very fine filter. So it's almost like just emptying out the blood and just energetically filtering these little nanites through this mesh thing so that the blood comes out the other way. So we're going to allow them to do that, Ekaterina, and just keep allowing the golden light to purify your blood. It would seem to be that that's what it is. And we're asking for the issues that, I'm going to say, where you gave your permission, that the permission is now canceled.
Thank you.
And that so we have to wait just a second because they're not showing me the next thing. So we're just going to allow that to work. You've had some very interesting lives, my love. So,
That's why I wanted you to help me, because actually for so many years nobody could access these dimensions. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. It's because what we're working on are not things that people say, oh yeah, it's a belief or a limitation. It is not actually. It's that in that lifetime, you were not human, and therefore you have permissions for things that were necessary in that lifetime, but are no longer necessary, but were never finished.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yes, not everybody gets to see stuff like that. But anyway, we're allowing the work to be done and the frequencies to be provided. Basically what I heard was to tonify your blood. And so we're talking about here in the third dimension, by removing energetically the particulates that were in there that were creating a mismatch from your, let's say, what was in there and has carried through your consciousness, the frequency of it. Okay? Does that make sense?
I would be so happy.
I would be so happy too. And I know you're going to write me and let me know. All right.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sweetheart. You have a good night.
Yes.
All right. Hold on a second. Nano robot, somebody wrote, Jacqueline did. There's always interesting things in other existences. So for everybody, because several people have written in the chat box that they too have allergies and allergies to dust mites and to other things. So in order to receive the healing, you can just say, download replay the healing that was just done for Ekaterina, and then allow that energy to come in for you. Okay? That's what we're wanting. All right? So let me just look through here because people have been writing and I haven't been able to do them. Okay. All right, so let me just ask. All right. Go ahead and raise your hands, people, as we only have a little bit of time left. So we're going to go to Iona.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
How can I help you?
Can you help me find out, remove the blocks that keep me from being able to sleep, even if a little bit, but to be rested, or to quiet my nervous system, to be able to feel like a human being that had some sleep?
Okay. So when you're, the first thing I heard as you were speaking is, what is it that you're nervous about?
Everything. Everything can be a fear. I don't feel safe. I feel responsible for everything. I need to take care of things. I don't have time for what I want, and I don't even know what I want anymore. Disconnected.
Okay. You know, so I'm being shown a it reminds me of the story of the little matchbox girl. I think it's a Charles Dickens story where the little girl is on the corner of she's in this case sitting down holding the matchsticks out. So the underlying issue for you, it's not necessarily, it's not just about control, actually. All right, so we're going to go in and see exactly why this picture is here. This is not a lifetime, but it's an energetic pattern of you always offering, but not having takers, not having, it's almost like people don't see you, actually. So some big things here. So I just want you to take a deep, deep breath. And everyone who feels that they're unseen, and then begin to question your own, it's not just value and worth, but it's your own credibility, your own vitality, your own, I want to say like your own life. It's like, why am I here? And it's way beyond a worthiness issue. Meaning it's not about, if you've been doing the work, Iona, for I'm not worthy or something, the reason it's not working is because it's not that issue. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So validation of self. So do you want to be here? That's the question that comes.
I think I want to, because I will not be here otherwise. Yes, but I need to find my path.
Okay. Did you just say but?
Yes.
All right. So yes, you want to be here.
Yes.
Period. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the pertinent question I hear, because for you, it's, so now I'm being shown like we've closed the sliding glass door or the barn door on that past, which in this case is kind of like a gift that you're able to just close it. But what that means is that you have to reconcile energetically, and we're going to do that. You have to reconcile energetically. It happened. Does this feel right to you? This is a feeling thing. It's not a mind thing. It happened. And by accepting that it happened doesn't mean that it was okay. It means that you're going to stop fighting it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel sad right now.
Good. Okay. That's great. We're just going to allow that to happen. Allow it means you don't hang on to it. You don't process it. You don't think about it. You just let it pass through. Okay.
Okay.
So energetically, the work is being done to where you can literally walk away from all of the existences that reinforced all of those things that I said, which is quite a gift. That means to me many things, but one of them is that by choosing, yes, I am here and I'm living my life and I'm here for my life's purpose, means that that's the start of your new chapter. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So right now we're working on the area between your third and fourth chakra. So there's a blockage there that's being worked on. So just know that you're receiving the work to allow yourself to move forward. So if you find these worries are starting to go in your mind again, and they're keeping you awake and whatever, that you ask the golden beings of light to fill your heart, your mind, your spirit with golden light, and just envision yourself wrapped in the golden light. Okay? Because this is also now a new training, because your mind knows the old way. And now you're going to retrain it. There's no reason, and it should be less and less anyway as the healing works. But you also have to know that when this is happening and your mind is starting to remind you, that you feel within yourself that this is resolved. How does it feel when we say this is resolved?
Almost like a peace, and I can breathe deeper and calmer, and finally, after running, I can sit down.
Good. Like I said, you don't need to be nervous about it anymore. And you can just know that this is done. You have been given carte blanche, I hear. That's nice. I haven't heard many people get that, actually. So I think that's pretty awesome. All right, you got a clean slate, and that means that you can move forward now in this current life. So I want you to focus on that consciousness piece that we talked about in the beginning. That what do I need to do to be in alignment with my highest consciousness and with my soul's alignment? That's your question. That's everybody's question. When we put our focus in that arena, what happens is we basically get to leapfrog, or in your case, you got carte blanche as a gift, which is pretty incredible. So what happens then is that you're going to start to leapfrog the issues that are right in front of your face and where we get caught up in. And we're putting our attention and our focus on the higher aspect of ourselves. And then that allows you to move forward faster, because you're working to be in alignment. And then all the other things begin to fall into place, because it will be a need and you recognize it as a need, but you release that stronghold that we all get when we have a need or a desire and all we do is fixate on it. Instead, you're able to create it because you recognize it and you move on knowing it's already in process. Does this make sense?
Yes, I need to re-listen. Yes, it's deeper, has multiple layers.
Oh yeah. But this is the part that is so important. And it's the part, for all of us in the, I guess, early 90s, maybe when The Secret came out, you always knew there were pieces missing to what they were saying, right? We all
Right.
did. We all knew, wait a second, there's some aspects of this that are not being told. And it's the part that I just told you, that piece where we are putting our attention on the higher consciousness and our own soul's alignment with our purpose. When we are focused in that arena, the other needs and such are easy to fulfill. And things happen even in this pandemic, okay? Things are still moving along, and it's because the focus isn't on, oh my goodness, we have this pandemic. It's, okay, I'm in alignment with my soul, and I'm listening, and I'm doing what I need to do in my everyday life, not caught up in. It's not that I'm not paying attention. I'm using my light to help disperse and to, hopefully move us through this as fast as we can for myself and my family and friends and my community, right? So as all of us do that, you'll start to see that things will shift in your own life and things will start coming to you. But it's because you're focusing on your highest soul's alignment and consciousness that will help you to stay there. Okay? It's a very huge piece of how it is that we create here, because you don't get caught up in the creation of the mundane things almost. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you
So much. All right, sweetie. Let me know, let me know how it goes. All right, everybody. I want to take this time to send you to GabrielleSpencer.com innercircle-2. There I am working, or I am putting together, or we have put together something similar to what we've just done today. And it is where there's a teaching and healings, and it is called the Soul Awakenings Inner Circle. And we have the Shine Your Light path, and we have the Illuminate Your Ascension path that is in there. And it's monthly because it's so important for us as we're moving through this time, and continuously. It's going to get interesting, right? It's going to happen, and it is about us being in the light and the highest vibration of light we can be in, dealing with whatever it is that's stopping us in the moment, and receiving the love, the support, the healing, the energetics, the frequencies that are missing or are needed to shift you to your next level. That is what the Soul Awakenings Inner Circle is all about, and I hope you will join me so that you can regularly be receiving the support, the healing, and all that is needed to assist you to be at your soul's highest consciousness and being in alignment with it, so you can create not just the life that you want here, but to be in alignment so that you can be of highest service while providing your own peace, joy, happiness, and stability from within, really connecting with your power from within. So again, it's GabrielleSpencer.com/innercircle-2. All right. All right, everybody. I thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you for season 4 of the SoulScape Show, which begins June 11th with awesome guests. So I hope that you will join me then, and I will be playing some of my favorites as replay encores until then. I wish you much love. Thank you for being here and participating. You make my heart sing. Mwah! Bye-bye, everyone.